Hello and welcome back to Wake Up Our Faith. This is the show where passion, purpose, and dreaming big challenge common sense. We like to think of it as a conversation to shed light on the upside of upside down living. Kevin Adams, Matt Ham, bring it in, brother.
I don't know where it was, but Holly pointed out a church to me the other day in our travels that it just said Jesus is boss on it. Like it wasn't painted on there. It was on a sign. So it was really cool.
Now I have an image of Jesus like being Bruce Springsteen. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if we're just dancing in the dark. Like Jesus in his get up singing man. The boss.
Beautiful. Oh, love it.
Well, so what are we going to dive into today, Kev? What we have on the docket? I know you got some good stuff on the notepad over here. Let's pull it out.
Salt versus sugar. If you have a jar of salt and a jar of sugar and you have them on a table and you look at them from across the room, you don't know which is which. One's really, really good for you and healthy. The other is not so much. Table sugar, you don't need it. You really never need it. What we're talking about here is kind of this idea of accidental counterfeit, something that you don't realize that you're operating in, or behavior pattern.
This is birthed out of the gospel, which says, be the salt of the earth.
Sure.
And it came from kind of this imagery that you created in a picture of that salt and sugar both look alike on the table. I just wanted to tie that in. And so the question or the challenge is for Christians, are you living like salt or are you living more like sugar?
We're supposed to be salt, light, and leaven. Salt, light, and leaven. Those are the things that, help bring about greater, whether it's flavor, whether it's illumination, clarity, or whether it's, all boats rise together with the leaven, it makes the bread rise. So think about this idea that of counterfeit, kind of a counterfeit walk, that you think you're walking in it. Your heart's in the right place, but it's astray a little bit, and you don't know it. But you're not seeing progress. You're not seeing growth. You're just kind of stagnant. You feel a little down, depressed, that kind of thing. This is where we want to encourage you to go take a second look at this and double check some things. So.
Yeah. No, and again, just to kind of reiterate to our audience, I mean, this is the work that we do as an organization. It's discipleship. Right. It's helping people move beyond kind of the sugary substance and into something that is purifying, and that is salt, that's long-term.
Right.
Kingdom-mindedness, instead of just earthly kind of groveling and struggling and suffering through every day, just hamster wheel, rote habits, routine, busyness, all that junk that weighs everybody down.
Yeah, that's right. You have this idea of boldness in Scripture. We need to be bold. But what do we hear?
You're arrogant.
Yeah, that's right. Well, don't be so arrogant.
Yeah.
And to me, arrogant, it sounds like a name of a hairspray.
Arrogant.
Yeah, aerosol, arrogance.
Yeah, there you go.
To hold your hair in place with arrogance. Get it now on sale. I don't know. I'm weird. But.
Maybe we should create a jar of hairspray called Arrogance.
Exactly. I see it, man.
Actually, there are probably people that use that don't even realize it.
It's green, and it says it down the side, and oh gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
It literally is spraying arrogance on you.
So good.
Boldness versus arrogance. What's the difference? Salt versus sugar. What's the difference? There's a major difference. And a lot of people just can that down, distill it, and try to, generalize it in a way that kind of makes people feel bad about being bold, about standing up for something. So to me, we've got to learn the difference, talk through it a little bit. But quickly, the main difference is boldness comes from humility, arrogance comes from insecurity. So we can tap into that.
Boldness is driven by humility. Arrogance is driven by insecurity.
Yeah.
Gosh,
that's right.
Man, that is so good.
So in a way, they're absolute opposites, but they look similar on the surface. Just like salt and sugar.
Gosh, that is so good. And I think the secondary piece of this, Kevin, is we need a salty, bold generation for the Lord.
That's right.
And not an insecure, arrogant, sugary version of of the Christian life with the arrogance hairspray.